Hi, everyone. Welcome to the call. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. It's a beautiful day here in North America. We had wonderful, wonderful weather today. Hopefully it was beautiful weather where you are down in Australia. Looks like Katie's background makes it look like she's on the beach somewhere, but I know you guys are having winter, lots of snow and sub-zero weather. Haha, no, I know not. But yeah, we want to talk about skincare today. So I want to share a video with you right away. I think this is a great way to start the call, is to share this video, and it's a video that I had made back when Tom first came out with the TRANSFUSIUM. I was the first distributor on the planet to actually get to use this product. And this is what my face looked like. This was August. I believe it was 5 years ago when Tom came out with the TRANSFUSIUM. So you can see some rosacea. You can see I needed to shave, but some deep lines right around my eyes. And what I did is I took a selfie every day for 30 days. And then a friend of mine took that and put it into a time-lapse video. So you can see 30 days of TRANSFUSIUM, and I wasn't using the entire system. I was just using TRANSFUSIUM. Remember, I'm a guy, and really, a lot of guys, we don't, use skincare products. I just thought, hey, I'm just gonna age naturally and have wrinkles like everybody else. And so this is where I started, but watch this video. This is just 30 seconds, so watch this. It's playing now. You can see that's day 2, 3, 4, not much changes, but really, you could see changes. Within 3 days, I started to notice changes, but I didn't get a hold of Tom. I didn't get a hold of anybody. I didn't get a hold of corporate because I thought, no, that's too quickly. That's too quickly. And it wasn't until the end of the first month, right about here, the 28th day, when I got a hold of Tom and I said, hey, you gotta look at this, and hang on one second. Now I gotta stop that video. Okay, there. But yeah, it was something. I mean, I share that with people all the time. I say, look at my skin. Right? I mean, it's what an amazing product. What an amazing product. And I'm going to get Katie back here on the panel. But I couldn't believe that it worked that quickly. I'd never seen it work that quickly. And then that convinced me to use the rest of the products that Sisel has. That convinced me to use the other products. And I started using the ACTIFY and the Rapid Repair. And Katie, I find, combined with the age pill, I think it's the age pill, combined with the age pill, I can be out in the sun for hours. I can go out fishing, sit in my little tin boat, and I don't get sunburned.
Wow, it's amazing. Yeah, their products are incredible. I mean, I wouldn't use it I wouldn't sit in the sun for hours and, trust that I'm not going to get burnt, but it does make a difference for sure, because, they're really powerful products and they've been just so well formulated.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we'll go through some slides with everybody right now, and we'll share some information about the ingredients, and then and just kind of explain how the products work. So hang on one second while I bring those slides up.
Okay, great.
Right here. Can you see that all right, Katie?
Yeah, great. Thanks.
All right. So I made a cover slide to go on the slides that we had, but what would you do? How much would you pay if you could make your skin look, feel, and really, honestly, be younger? You know, and I just ask people that question, and I say we might have the answer for you. You need to take a look. So, Katie, you know, when you were 20, I mean, you probably worried about your skin, but did a lot of people worry? Do they worry about their skin when they're in their 20s?
I didn't worry about my skin when I was in my 20s, and I wish I had have. I used to go have, well, actually might have been around 18, 19. I'd go and have solariums, you know, that they've since banned. How bad are they for your skin? And I used to.
You used to go in a tanning booth?
Oh, yeah. And I used to make sure between the age of like 18 and 20, I was tanned all the time. And I wasn't using fake tans back then. It was like in a tanning booth or out in the sun. So I was like definitely doing this to my skin, lots of sun damage. And I didn't realize, see, back then you would get some freckles, but then they would fade. Do you know what I mean? Like they would fade quickly, the skin would repair. But now at my age, you get a freckle, it's a sunspot and it doesn't fade. It stays there permanently. So they're not, you know, they're not cute freckles that come and go anymore. They're skin damage. And, you know,
I'm going to disagree with you on that, because I've had some sunspots that have been on my skin for probably the last 20 years. Yeah. And since I've been using this skincare line and I added the age pill, I saw some changes then.
Yeah.
But when I added Stemolytic,
right,
I was just looking on my shoulders at some sunspots that I had on my shoulders, because I used to get burnt really bad. And I was looking at them just an hour ago. And those sunspots have started to fade. There's some of them have are gone.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that. Mine have definitely faded, but I still wouldn't go out and sit in the sun, put my face in the sun and go get some more UV damage to it and then let the products do the work. Some people might, you know, guys probably don't care. But for me, I was still, you know, I like to use the best skincare products, the best nutritionals from the inside as well. And then also try and do as much as I can as well in terms of, you know, avoiding direct UV light on my face particularly. I mean, obviously you need some vitamin D, but you know, if you want to keep your skin as good as you can as a lady as you get older, then direct sunlight to the face will accelerate aging.
Yeah. So you gotta do that protection. Yeah, I wear a hat. I wear a hat a lot. You know, when you see my photos when I'm out fishing, typically I have a hat on. So I'm doing that protection as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And smoking is so horrible. Smoking is so horrible. You know, I was out the other day and a friend of mine, I didn't know that she smoked. And I said, holy cow. I said, I've got some products that you're going to want to take a look at.
Definitely.
You know, because I don't even try and talk people out of smoking anymore. Now what I do is I say, hey, I've got some products that I need to show you if you're a smoker. Mm-hmm. But toxins, we're all exposed to different kinds of toxins, and people who use just over-the-counter type of skincare. And I know you had a couple things you wanted to say about that, you know, as far as like over-the-counter type skincare products.
Oh yeah, so with the over-the-counter skincare products, so I did a comparison and I looked at 3 top brand products that you can purchase in the department store, I guess. You know, and they're popular products for anti-aging, and they're pretty pricey. They're all around the sort of $200-300 mark. And what you'll find is with those particular products, yes, they are considered, well, by the company that puts them out, anti-aging. However, the ingredients that are actually in the product, there's ingredients that counteract the beneficial ingredients. For instance, one particular brand, and I'll just call it Y, you can guess the rest, you know, it's loaded full of PEGs, PEGs, like all different ones. And it's also got propylene glycol in it. And in addition to that brand, actually the other 2 brands, the top selling ones, also had that in it. Kurt, do you want to talk to everyone listening that if you're using an anti-aging cream and it's got some good ingredients and then they go and load it full of PEGs and propylene glycol, what's that actually going to do?
Yeah. So, I mean, propylene glycol, the PEGs, which is, another form of glycol and things like that. That's what's used in brake fluid.
Hmm.
It's not good. I mean, it's using antifreeze. It's not good. You wouldn't put brake fluid on your skin knowingly. You wouldn't put antifreeze on your skin knowingly. And these companies, they get away with it because they were grandfathered in a long time ago. And basically the FDA and the TGA and the different governmental bodies, they just said, you know what? It's going to take too much money to go back and make these companies fight these companies to make them change what they're doing. So we're just going to let them do it. And all of those things, they cause problems, and they actually age your skin. A lot of skincare products, they actually have a form of Teflon in them. And we know, you know, from frying pans that Teflon, it's anti-stick. It makes it so that when you put eggs in the pan and you fry the eggs, they don't stick to the bottom of the pan. But what it does to your skin is it hardens the skin, and as it hardens, it makes it so that the wrinkles come out. But you know, you can see where you just don't want to do that either. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I found that really interesting because, you know, people trust these companies that they're producing good product. They're certainly paying for it. And then they go and put ingredients in it that just negate any benefit of the other ingredients. So it just doesn't make sense. And that's why I love the Sisel.
It doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, and then you know, a lot of people, especially women, they start to notice that, you know, when they hit their 30s, they got their first line, they got their first wrinkle, they say, oh, I got my first gray hair and things like that. And that's because they've accumulated more of this sun damage, this UV ray damage. They've accumulated more free radicals that have built up. They've accumulated more toxins. And, you know, your skin has fatty tissue in it. That's what kind of gives it its shape and its form and that. So you've got a little bit of fat in there. And most toxins are fat soluble. So where are they going to go?
Right. In the fat.
They're going to be built up in there. And then as you get into your 30s, you also have collagen that starts to break down, and the production of new collagen starts to slow down. And so that's why typically when you get in your 30s, you start to notice some different things happening there.
Yeah.
But really, it's when you get into your 40s.
Yeah.
Because in your 40s, what did Tom say? Like, is it 60% of your stem cells have gone into senescence?
Yeah. Yes. So they're not functioning anymore. They're dormant.
Yeah. And your stem cells, they're the repair cells. Those are the repair and the replace cells. And so all of a sudden now, all of that damage, all of that stuff that you were doing when you were in your 20s and 30s and into your 40s, into your 50s, all of a sudden it starts to catch up to you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, you know, as it says here, and the hydration, the skin doesn't hold hydration as well as it did when you were younger. Elasticity and firmness, and you just start to notice more wrinkles. And definitely, you know, discoloration and hyperpigmentation becomes more pronounced at this age.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And you know, a lot of times, you know, like with women, their skin tends to age faster than men, even though we don't protect our skin as much. But do you know why women tend to have skin that ages faster?
Men's skin's typically thicker, I thought. Has that got to do with the collagen? Women's skin is thinner. It's more, the thinner it is, the more it wrinkles and the more it can dry out and damage. Whereas, you know, just even, you know, looking at guys, you can see their skin looks thicker. It's not as kind of fine.
Yeah, that's part of it. What's the other reason?
Hormones?
Hormones, that's another reason.
I don't know. Go on, tell everyone.
Oh, the main reason is because typically women start using skincare products when they're in their teens.
Yep. So makeup and skincare products actually age the skin. As Tom has said in previous posts, save your money, save your face. If you're actually not going to use a really good quality product like Sisel that you can trust all the ingredients, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. You're best to use nothing at all.
You're better off using nothing at all. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You'd be better off using nothing at all. And so, folks, the thing about it is that once you get into your 50s, you know, at that time, they're showing that, you know, by the time you get into your 50s, you've got 75 to 80% of your stem cells have gone into senescence. It's, you know, for the most part, for most people, it's beyond repair.
If they're not doing anything.
If they're not doing anything at all. Or here's what happens, you know, when you get into your 50s, all of a sudden you start spending all sorts of money. You get Botox and you get facelifts and this Restylane and all these different types of collagen injections to try and make it look better.
Yeah, well, I mean, women even these days, Kurt, are starting Botox as early as in their 30s.
Yep. I know girls that are in their 20s that are doing Botox.
Wow.
Yeah. But did you know that during the Great Depression, when there was lack of money, women still spent money on skincare? They found the money, no matter how broke they were, they found the money to buy skincare products.
Yeah, because, you know, they say that women will spend more on their face than they will on nutrition or any other part of their body, because your face is the first thing that people see. So most women do care about it and do want to make the very best of what they've got. So it does make sense.
Well, if all women were just naturally beautiful like me, then they wouldn't have to worry about it.
That's right.
But there was a study that was done. Sorry, I had to say that. But there was a study that was done. They took and they surveyed 1,000 women, and they asked the women. They said, "Hey, if you could look 10 years younger or have smarter children, which would you do?"
You told me. I know the answer. They all picked 10 years younger.
80% of them picked 10 years younger. They said, "My kids will get by."
Yeah.
My kids will get by. Isn't that an interesting study, though?
Yeah. It is very, very eye-opening.
Yeah, it really is. And so, you know, and I was invited to come to I guess basically a skincare presentation. And I went there and I was one of two guys. There was like 300 women in the room, and they wanted me to talk about skincare. And this was before I was involved with Sisel. And I looked at the ingredients on the products, and I told the lady that wanted me to talk, I said, "Well, I can't talk about this."
Yeah. And she said, "Why?"
I was uninvited.
Oh. Because of ingredients.
I was uninvited. So UV rays are so bad. There's UVA, there's UVB, there's UVC, there's different kind of rays, right? And UVB, you know, that's the ones that, you know, typically everybody worries about. They go outside, it's a cloudy day. They go, "Oh, I'm not going to get sunburned today because it's cloudy." And but UVA rays, even through glass, it'll reflect off of snow. It'll reflect off of water, and it goes through clouds, all of that. Yeah. And so think of it really easily. UVA, you know, and I'm just going to simplify it. I'm going to say the A stands for aging. The B stands for burning. A for aging, B for burning. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, that's not what it stands for, but if you remember that, that's what you're going to remember. And it breaks down the skin. It causes mutations into DNA.
Yeah, knocks out the DNA.
Yeah, and you know, so that's why even when you use Eternity, it can make a difference on your skin, because they found that resveratrol has the ability to repair damaged DNA, mutations into DNA.
Yeah, well, so it wasn't until a few years ago that I realized how damaging UV exposure is to the skin and how much it actually does accelerate aging. And I know you need your vitamin D. However, you know, your face, you know, to keep your face covered, because you would just accelerate, you know, the aging of your skin. So if you're using all these great products on your skin, on your face, and then you're going and sunning your face, then you're going to counteract some of that benefit because it's going to try and undo the damage being done by the UV light. So
Yep.
that everybody's different. I know that I've got lots of women friends that do like sunning their face, but the truth is, it is, as you've got the slide on the slide here, it is accelerate aging.
Yep. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I think everybody thinks that if you have pale white skin, that, you know, somehow it portrays that you're not healthy. But you know, I mean,
Not in certain
holy
cultures,
cow.
it doesn't. Yeah, not in certain cultures. I know the Japanese are very big into white skin. They
Yep.
go to the extent of where walking out with an umbrella to cover themselves from the sun and wear gloves and all sorts of things. They really go do as much as they can to protect from UV exposure.
Yeah.
So they're big on that.
Yeah, and there's certain Asian groups, subgroups, I'm going to say, you know, in certain islands over by Japan, where their skin actually produces type of hormone. We've got it in the inner chi
Yes.
that actually helps with protecting the skin as well.
Qual.
Equal, exactly. It's in our inner chi product.
That's right.
So something to think about. So this could be you. I mean, I know people in their 40s that look like they're 70.
Yeah. Again, that'll come back to all the things that we've already been discussing: sun exposure, smoking, chemicals on the skin. Obviously, there is some genetics in there as well. And then diet too, nutritional deficiencies. There's a whole host of things.
Even stress.
Yeah. And water. Yeah. Stress and water.
Yeah. You know, so Katie, what if you could look like this and, you know, erase 5 to 10 years in just 30 days?
That'd be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, it really would. And so what if you had a skincare product that in 30 days it could increase the collagen production, it could restore the elasticity, it could help with the firmness of the skin, it could renew the ability for proper hydration, and really rebuild the trabeculation that prevents the skin sagging.
Well, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too. And we've got that product. We've got that product, and it doesn't use harmful ingredients like Botox. It doesn't use you know, things like injecting collagen into the skin. It doesn't use you know, toxic ingredients like some of these products try to sell you, and it doesn't use Teflon.
Fantastic. Yeah. And
Yeah,
there's no harmful PEGs and propylene glycol and all that either.
none of that in there. So TRANSFUSIUM is the main product that we're going to talk about, TRANSFUSIUM. But really, you don't just need a product; you need a system.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
don't need yeah. You know, I mean, a lot of people say, "Well, I can only afford one product." Well, if you're going to buy one product, get the TRANSFUSIUM.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend doing the full 5-step skincare system. There's a photo, and I don't think we have it with us today, but it was of a lady, and she was showed half of her face with and without, and she was using the 5-step skincare system, which we've got here. And after I started with the TRANSFUSIUM, Kurt, and then when I saw that photo, I thought, oh wow, looks like she's had a facelift. And so I thought, well, I better buy all the skincare products. And then I started using the full 5-step skincare system. And yeah, I was absolutely delighted with the results. And if you use these creams in the right proportions, like you're using the right amount and not being heavy-handed with it, they will last a long time. They are really good value for money, definitely also for the benefits that you get from it. So
Yeah,
I think they're fantastic.
well worth it. Yeah, you know, so when we're talking about the first part of the system, you know, the facial cleanser, most cleansers, you know, they have sulfates in them, and sulfate, that's what I use to degrease the engine in my old cars. When I'm working on an old car, I'm going to use sulfate-based cleansers because it cleans that grease off really good. Do you want to put that on your face?
No, it's too harsh. It's going to dry the skin out. And if your skin becomes more dry, then it gets more lines and wrinkles. And you know, you want your skin to stay really well hydrated. So you definitely don't want to do anything that's going to strip the skin or dry it out. And that becomes, maybe when you're younger, you could get away with it a lot more, but as you age, you don't want to remove natural oils. You want to remove, you know, dirt and stuff, but not remove the moisture from the skin.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they grab these products on the shelf, you know, when I'm walking through the mall, which I don't do very often, but when I'm walking in the mall, sometimes I'll walk by these stores that sell products to women, and they're handing out samples. They got somebody out there squirting products on women's hands and saying, "Oh, try this," and they rub it into their hand, and oh, it makes it feel so much softer and smoother. And you know, sure, if I take and rub some you know, oil or some silicone on your hand, it's going to make it appear to feel, you know, smoother than that. But is it really good for you?
No, and that's the amazing thing. You can have an instant effect with many skincare products, but it doesn't last long term. Like the long term effect is damaging, but the instant effect can look okay. And that's where these products are great, because they're long lasting beneficial effects.
That's right. And so, you know, the SKINDU,
Yeah,
you know,
love
I
it.
remember when I was introduced to SKINDU, I can't remember who was doing it, but I walked into this room and she's spraying it, and I'm like, what is it? What are you doing?
Yeah, and it's got the hyaluronic acid in it, and Tom puts it in a really low molecular weight. I heard him talk about that with other products with this particular ingredient, which is really important for hydrating the skin. They use a high molecular weight, and he said what happens is then the hyaluronic acid just sits on the surface of the skin and doesn't penetrate into the deeper layers. And of course, you definitely want ingredients that are the right molecular weight to reach the right levels in the skin to get the most benefit. So a lot of science goes into our products, and you know, people just don't know this unless, I guess, we share it. So that's why it's really important to kind of learn a bit more about it and have a better understanding.
You know, you talk about hyaluronic acid.
Yeah.
Tell people, what is hyaluronic acid?
Well, it's an acid. I don't know too much where it's actually sourced from. I know what the benefits are of it. So maybe if you want to explain a bit more, I know the
Well,
benefits.
tell what the benefits are, because you know, a lot of people, they don't want to know the science, but they want to know, what does it do?
Yeah.
You know, so if you
Okay,
could tell
sure.
people what.
Sure, yeah. It hydrates the skin, and it helps with, you know, maintaining moisture in the skin. So the problem is that as we age, we lose moisture from the skin, and the more moisture we lose, the older, the more aged the skin looks. So young people, their skin looks really kind of hydrated, and it doesn't look oily, but it looks moist. Whereas you know, as we age, we start to lose that. So hyaluronic acid helps to put that moisture back in. Now, this particular product can also be used to prepare the skin so that when you put the next product on, so say if you're using SKINDU and then you're putting on, say, TRANSFUSIUM, helps prepare the skin for the TRANSFUSIUM to go in further. And then if you spray the SKINDU, which has the hyaluronic acid on top of that, it helps to push the TRANSFUSIUM further into the deeper layers of the skin, which you definitely want to do. So it actually has a number of purposes. One is preparing skin. Two is helping ingredients to get in further. Three is also helping to maintain moisture in the skin. And people like to use it when their skin's feeling a bit dry, or if they want to freshen up. And the great thing about this product is when you do spray it on, because it's replenishing the moisture of the skin, it almost instantly smooths out the appearance of lines and wrinkles because you're hydrating the skin. So
That's right.
that's why I love it.
Yeah, and hyaluronic acid, another thing that it does is it helps to maintain that plumpness of the skin.
Yes.
You know, because if your skin starts to sink in, you know, it's you're not going to look healthy.
Yeah.
So the TRANSFUSIUM, what a fantastic product. I mean, like I tell people, it's you don't have to use a whole heck of a lot, but you put it on your skin. I just put it on my skin right before the call. I sit here, I have a container of it right by my computer on my desk. I have another container up in my bathroom, and I have another container in my kitchen. So when I'm standing there in the kitchen, I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I just kind of, you know, waiting for the eggs to fry or whatever. I'll put TRANSFUSIUM on my face.
Wow.
I mean, that's how much I believe in it. And you know, and when I go hunting, I bring these products with me even when I go to hunting camp. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can believe it. That's you.
You know, and my guy friends, they kind of look at me and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
but we'll go over the ingredients in this in a little bit. We got some special slides in that, so we won't spend a lot of time talking about it on this slide. But again, like Katie said, once you've put the transfusium on, seal up the skin by putting some more SKINDU on after you put the transfusium, and it's almost like putting a seal layer over the top of it.
Yeah.
And then ACTIFY. Do you use this product?
Oh, I love this product. This is one of my favorites. I mean, I love the transfusium too, but I really love ACTIFY. I find its ability to lock in moisture and keep the skin looking hydrated. It's incredible. And also it has ingredients in there that provide natural protection against UVA, B, and C rays. So we can't claim a UV rating for this particular product because ingredients required to be considered a photon blocker, which is used in sun protection. There's only a few of them that are approved by the TGA. And so the problem with that is that those ingredients that are approved are very old technology and they haven't been updated. Of course, as we know, Sisel uses the latest science and exotic ingredients that really are beneficial. However, if they're not listed as a photon blocker to be used in sunscreen, then we can't actually claim a rating. However, I think Dr. Kurt, you would agree with this, and myself, I've noticed that it's around about probably a 15 in burning time, just from personal experience, whilst we can't officially make that claim. So it does contain, ingredients that provide some protection there. And the other thing is it helps protect against environmental toxins too, because when you go outside, the pollution in the air, that sticks to your skin and that gets absorbed. So there's ingredients in there that help protect it as well. So it's sort of like shielding it, you know, out in the day where you're exposed to all the environment and locking in the moisture. So keeping the moisture in and the bad stuff out.
That's right. You know, when I was in Australia in February, Australia and New Zealand, somebody said to me, they said, "Do you put it on your neck?"
Yes.
I said, "Well, no." And they said, "Well, you know, your face is going to continue to look young, but you're going to have a 100-year-old looking neck." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So all of a sudden I started putting ACTIFY all over my neck, the front and back of my neck as well.
Yeah. And you're meant to, it says on the bottle, face and neck cream.
That's right. So, you know, next year when I come down there, you're going to probably say, "Wow, Kurt, your neck looks so much younger."
Oh, yeah.
But this is an amazing product. You know, we were talking earlier about an hour ago, you and I were talking, and you know, Tom gets one of the ingredients, this ergothioneine, and he buys it from the same company that sells to we can't mention names, but it's a major skin manufacturing company, and they have a product that sells for I've seen it for $300 in department stores, and they put so very little of it in there. They put in just like, you know, I think it's 8 parts per million, but studies show that you have to have 25 parts per million of this ingredient, this ergothioneine, to actually make it work.
Right.
And we put the recommended dosage. We actually put more than that into our product. And instead of charging $300 for the product, which in Australia, $300 would equate to probably close to $450, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what do we sell rapid repair for down there? I think here in the United States, it's right around 50. I don't even know. I don't look. I just order it when I need it.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's between 80 and 90, you know, depending on GST and whatnot, and depending if you're a customer or a distributor. Yeah,
that's what I was just saying. And you were talking earlier, you know, as far as like this ergothioneine as well. You know, say what it's tell everybody what you were telling me earlier. Well, you know what Tom says, as far as like what the company says.
Yeah. So the company then said, so Kurt was telling us that this top selling skincare company uses ergothioneine. Well, they purchase it off the same supplier that Tom Senior gets his ergothioneine off. And the supplier said to him, "How much are you actually, you know, selling? Because this company sells so much of their product and they're actually purchasing way less ergothioneine than what you are." And he said to them, we'll actually use it in a very high concentration in our product, you know, well above the therapeutic dose. So it does what it's supposed to do. And so therefore, even though he's producing, you know, less volume of product, he's buying more of the ingredient compared to this other big company. So it really shows the integrity in our products, and that we really go above and beyond to making sure that we have therapeutic amounts or ingredients that are actually going to do their job, and not just do what, you know, Tom's referred to in the past as called fairy dusting, where they like to list an ingredient on the bottle and they just put a little bit into the product so they can say it's in there, but it's actually not in there enough to have any beneficial purpose. So this manufacturer was quite shocked because Tom was buying so much of this particular ingredient, or this supplier. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we use 50-to-1 concentration, and like I said, if I remember right, they were using like an 8-to-1 concentration, which isn't even enough to make a difference. So you'd have to buy. I think I figured it out one day. You'd have to buy close to 30 containers of their product to equal 1 container of our product.
Oh wow, that much.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's the system.
Yes. So 5-step system. So you've got your cleanser, which is really important to do morning and night to clean away toxins that get on your skin and that sit on your skin and age it. And then, you know, you can prepare with the SKINDU in the morning. If you're in the morning and night, you can use TRANSFUSIUM twice a day if you want to. I always do. So I will put
Or you can put it on more than that if you want.
Oh yeah. So I'd use the SKINDU, then I'll put the TRANSFUSIUM, and then I'll put another bit of SKINDU, a spray on top of that to push that in. And then for the day cream, I'll apply the ACTIFY 6000. And then at night, I will use the Rapid Repair, but I will continue to use the TRANSFUSIUM twice a day. So that's the step system. I actually get quite close around the eyes. Now, I don't get it in my eye, because if you get it in your eye, obviously it's going to sting. But
well, you know, but if you put it in your eye, you won't get sunburn in your eye.
You're right. Well,
I do it quite often.
In your eye. No, yeah. So I can get it close because, you know, you get the lines around the eyes. So you can go right up around it, you know, just be careful not to get it in it. So yeah, I just think it's a fantastic line of skincare product. Now we do have some awesome before and after photos. I don't think we've got them here.
They're here.
Oh, you've got some.
Yeah, we got some of them on here on the slide.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just going to say this too, that, you know, sometimes depending on your genetics, sometimes depending on your condition, you know, maybe you got a medical condition. Sometimes, you know, your lifestyle, you've got more damage to your skin than someone else. And so what works for one person isn't always the same for the next person. So you might actually have to do a little bit more depending on who you are.
Yeah.
But really, if you get started when you're in your 20s, holy cow, can you imagine?
Yeah, it would make a big difference.
Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about the ingredients. You know, there's one, it's called a Volunage, which is it's a replumping active ingredient that it prevents the premature aging phenomena by regulating the cellular communication. Remember that your cells, they're talking to each other when they're dividing. When one cell is dividing and making another cell, it has to pass on that DNA message, the message, right? And so it helps to pass on the right message, and what that'll do is it keeps the structure good. It keeps the skin from you know, kind of getting this slack in it, and your skin is exchanging and making new cells all the time. So you really need to worry about this, and this ingredient really helps with that.
Definitely, great.
And then the Puristol, it's a highly active ingredient. It comes from a plant called Pyrethria mirifica. And I don't know if have you ever looked that ingredient up, Katie?
No, I haven't gone that far into it.
Oh, you should look that one up. This is in TRANSFUSIUM. Look that ingredient up. If you want to look up one ingredient, look up that one.
Right.
It's used in a lot of different types of product, and it's got a lot of good benefits, and the science behind it is pretty amazing. But it reduces wrinkles and helps with you know, with a lot of different things as far as like healthy bone turnover, because, you know, like Tom says, skincare just isn't skin deep. you know, it goes all the way down to the bone. And Tom kind of jokes and he says ugly goes all the way to the bone. But when you take a look at, like, you're into animals, you had a dog, and you know, Milo passed away last year. But you know, when Milo got old, did you notice that her nose started to get shorter?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I always
pay
thought she looked
attention to that.
really youthful. She looked really very youthful all the way through.
Yeah, but as animals age, their face actually gets shorter.
Oh, I've not noticed.
Yeah, and that's because the bone is getting older as well. So, in the cartilage and the collagen and all that, and so this helps out with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So,
Well, I did
yeah,
hear Jackie Christensen say that when she used the transfusion, she actually noticed that it started recontouring her face.
yep, it really does. And then when there's another one, it's called pulpactal, which improves the skin elasticity, because, you know, skin, if you take your hand, you know, for all of you that are sitting here listening to the call right now, grab your skin and pinch it and pull it away from your hand. Pinch it just a little bit and pull it away from your hand and see if it snaps right back. Or does it stay pinched? Can you see where you pinched it?
No, it snaps
And that tells
back.
you a little bit about the aging of your skin. Like when I'm doing that, as I'm sitting here telling you what to do, I'm doing it myself. So do as I do and do as I say at the same time. And if your skin snaps back, that means that you have healthy skin.
Great.
So that's what this ingredient does. So if you want to read about a couple of these there, Katie.
Yeah, so, well, how do you even pronounce the first one? I don't want to pronounce it wrong.
Right, just make it up, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong.
Intergenal. Vitagenal.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Okay, derived from peach leaves, stimulates the expression of vita genes, a group of genes involved in homeostasis, contributes to skin renewal and rejuvenation, and stimulates natural repair of skin cells. I mean, he's really loaded this product. Tom has loaded TRANSFUSIUM product full of so many active ingredients. There's 24, and I think just on these slides here, we're only mentioning 10, but as Kurt said, when you get right into the science of each ingredient, they've got so many benefits, just each ingredient. So, you know, combined together, that's why you get such powerful results, is because you've got so many active ingredients that are really going to work.
That's right. Yeah, so this is protecting the genes in your skin, right? I mean, the name of it says it. It's a vitamin that protects the genes, right? And then the next one, the THEMSELV, right? Telomeres. Telomeres are the end caps. They're the protective end cap that protects your DNA.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, we don't have to talk a lot about that. It helps to protect your telomeres from shortening, which slows the aging process of the skin.
Yeah, definitely. You want to look after your telomere units.
That's right. And then mitostime, it's an aqueous or a water-based solution. It comes from East Asia, and it promotes cellular rejuvenation, mitochondrial protection. So mitochondria, right? You're familiar with that, aren't you, Katie?
Yep, mitochondria. That's how our age pill product works and goes to boost mitochondrial, support the body to boost mitochondrial function, which is the powerhouse of our cells that provide energy. So
that's the energy, the nuclear power plant of the cell. Exactly. Yeah. So if your cells are going to be dividing and making new cells all the time, you know, you got to have that energy, and that's what this protects. And here's one, you know, Undirin stimulates collagen production, collagen synthesis, and then the collagen. Think of it like, I don't know if you go camping at all, Katie. Did you ever go camping anytime in your life?
Yeah, I did heaps of camping when I was younger.
Yeah. Did you sleep in a tent?
Yeah.
And if you didn't put out the tent stakes and the ropes that held the tent up, what happened to your tent?
It'll collapse.
It fell down, didn't it? And if you didn't put the tent stakes down, what happened?
It'll blow away.
It'd blow away. Yeah. And so Undirin actually helps to put those stakes down, because you got to hold the collagen down. You got to hold it in. It's held in with something called Sharpie's fibers.
Oh, wow.
So it's like tent stakes that hold the collagen into the bone.
Right.
And you can read here, it helps to build the volume between the eyebrows, the nose area, and the mouth wrinkles, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, who
So
wants
now,
mouth wrinkles?
yeah, I can see why you've got 4 jars sitting around the house. You're just rubbing it in all over whenever you think of it.
Every time, if I have a break, I'm doing something. I'm not just going to stand there and twiddle my thumbs,
I know.
right?
Excellent.
Lavendox comes from lavender oil. It helps with wrinkle reduction. It inhibits the muscle fibers from contracting. So really, couldn't we compare this to Botox?
Yeah, I think so. I think
You
it's
know?
without the harmful chemicals, because Botox is Botoxin, is a neurotoxin that's injected under the skin to paralyze the muscles. But I always wondered, if you're injecting a neurotoxin into your skin, how could that not get absorbed by the body and, affect your brain somehow?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. After talking to some of these women that have used it, yeah, I wonder that too.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Good joke.
I'm just kidding.
I know you're joking.
But you're not laughing. You got to laugh when you know I'm joking.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, someone's listening is going to get really annoyed at you saying that.
I know, but that's all right. I'm in North Dakota. They're not going to come up here and hit me or anything.
All right. So keep going. We want to see the before and after. Do you want to go through the rest of those ingredients?
So Thalips, it helps with pulping and volume. It helps with keeping the fatty tissue in your skin healthy. We've got Aerofira, which is a retinol-like activity, which is really, really good for the skin. It helps to keep the cells so they work the way they're supposed to, dividing and making healthy new cells. And so I just kind of summed it up here, right? I summed it up in 4 steps. I say this, look, we've got powerful ingredients that feed and nourish the skin with the perfect blend of nutrition for the skin. We've got safe to use molecules that protect the skin from the damage from UV and toxic damage. And then we have the ingredients that help with the rebuilding of the supporting structure, the collagen, the trabecula that holds the skin out. And then we've nourished the skin, we've protected it from damage, we've supported the structures. What else do you need? We have the ingredients that support the stem cells in the skin, right? There's the 4 steps. If you can remember that, you can describe TRANSFUSIUM to people.
Right.
So 24 active ingredients, 10 days, you'll see results. I saw results in 3 days, and 4 weeks to look 5 to 10 years younger. Amazing.
Yeah.
So here's my skin. This is me.
Yep. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And this is that people say, oh, that's not really you, but it is you.
It's me, and it's untouched. Those are untouched photos. I didn't Photoshop them at all. I'm back then I was too stupid to know how to do Photoshopping. But look at that. Isn't that I mean, I couldn't believe it. Here's another person. Look at that.
Amazing. Look at that around the eye, how much it's diminished, and the line across the forehead's not as deep.
Yeah.
And even around the mouth is diminished as well.
Crazy, isn't it? Look at this one.
And this is amazing. So, yeah.
How old is she?
I'm not sure. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, I I don't have permission to mention names, but I believe she was in her late 70s or early 80s.
Okay, wow. Wow, look at the difference. Wow.
Yeah, just 30 days, people.
It's amazing. It's even like recontoured. Like if you look, the whole shape of the face is kind of changed.
Oh, it's crazy. That's crazy
dramatic, very dramatic.
Anybody who isn't willing to try this product, you know what? Come back in 100 years and let me know. But that's the end of the slides, Katie.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that was great overview of the skincare products, a little bit of information there for people that they can take away. And yeah, I invite you, if you're on the call and you haven't tried these products, definitely give them a go. You will not be disappointed. Really. They're amazing.
Yeah, I love the product. I love the product, and what can I say? It works. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Don't get sunburnt. Use these products. Buy lots of them. Give them away to your friends.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, everyone.